That's right. It's that time again. It's time for the Convene Communities podcast featuring Matthew Curran. Matthew, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Doc. How you doing tonight? Everything going well?
Yes, sir. I just spoke with a good friend of mine. I have it on good authority that someone associated with the White House likes green M&Ms.
You're out of control. Hey, tonight's going to be a good one. We got the Brenda Warren in the house tonight. Brenda, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I got you. Jeff, how you doing?
Wonderful. Marvelous. I'm the greatest.
That's right. And Eugene, how about yourself?
Better than I should be.
I like it. So look, everybody, hold on. Everybody pay attention tonight because we got Brenda on. So this is going to be some high energy. And she's going to drop the golden nuggets on you and teach you a lot. So, Brenda, to get started, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and who you are and what do you do?
I am Brenda Warren. I'm known as the Solutionist. I am a retired Marine gunnery sergeant, a former hospital administrator, and the mother of the amazing Alex. I help entrepreneurs close the gap between their desire and their reality so they can live their best life now and what is now no opportunity wasted because life is too short to live in the negative and doing things you don't enjoy.
Right out of the bat.
Hi, it's been a great show tonight. I appreciate
right out of the gate. Here we go.
I feel like I need an amen after that.
I couldn't throw it out like that. You know, I don't know. That's just amazing. No, I love that. You know, no opportunity wasted. You know, your best self, and that's really what you focus on. You focus on taking people and raising them up to the next level in whatever domain or whatever area that they're trying to do it. Is that not correct?
That's true, Steve, because I use a mind, body, and soul approach to my coaching. I want to make sure that people are, you know, a lot of people talk about having a well-balanced life, but I don't believe in a well-balanced life. I believe a life that's in harmony, that we have harmony in our relationships, in our finances, in our physical fitness, in our spiritual life, in every area that you are in, whatever it is, be it your children, your marriage. I think we should find the harmony so that we don't lose sight of what's really important to us.
Yeah,
you said that right.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, the stuff that you've done in your life that have made you who you are. So you talked about being a Marine, so we can touch on that. We talked about working in business administration, touch on that. But how have you gotten to the point that you're at to really form some of your methods and some of the things that you do?
Well, it started because I was born into a family of entrepreneurs and preachers. The combination is pretty awesome if you think about it. You know, I don't remember a time that I wasn't selling or being taught to sell something. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I had my first legal with license building when I was a business when I was 9 years old, because everybody in my family was required to have a business. So the first thing I did was have a candy store, and then went on from there to win state and regional contests in selling.
What kind of candy were you selling?
I sold now laters and I baked cookies and all kind of things. So whatever the kids in the neighborhood liked, I made sure I stocked up on it and had reasonable prices.
Were there any peanut M&Ms?
There were peanut M&Ms, green M&Ms, all kind of M&Ms.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Brenda. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I grew up with a business mindset because at an early age, I was told that we couldn't afford something, and I threw a tantrum. And my mother challenged me that if you could do better, then do it yourself. So that's why I started my first business. And then I got my first job at the age of 12 working at Profundo Roofing. And I basically badgered the man into hiring me. I said, if I told him I'd work for a week, and if I didn't work out, he could fire me. I ended up working there until I was 17 years old when I joined the Marine Corps.
Wow.
That's pretty incredible. Hey, so you just mentioned the Marine Corps, and I've always wanted to ask you this, and I've wanted to ask Lisa this, and I know I'm the only non-military person on the podcast tonight, but I don't want to necessarily get into a who's better, Marine, Army, Navy, whatever.
It's
But-
easy because Marines are better. It's okay. Go
That's
ahead.
it. It's not
I
even
knew
a
I set
question.
myself up
It's
for
not
that
even
one,
debated.
didn't I? But Brenda, tell us about it. Tell me about what it was like being a female in the military.
Well, I can only speak from my own experience, but
Okay.
I went in 2 days after graduating from high school. I was 17.
Mm.
I had wanted to be a Marine since I was 8 years old. So I practiced every chance I got to
Why
work out.
8?
Well, at 8 years old, I was introduced to my very first Marine. I met a young Marine on the parade deck in Philadelphia, and this happened after an unfortunate incident that happened that same year. The Augusta riots happened when I was 8, and a white man that with blonde hair and blue eyes spit in my face.
Mm.
And my grandmother told me that I had a choice. I could decide to hate or I could decide to love. I wasn't sure which one I was going to do.
Yeah, I
But
bet.
then I met that Marine on the parade deck, and he had blonde hair and blue eyes. And I braced myself when he came towards me for him to spit in my face, but he didn't. He bent down and he said, "Hey, little lady, what's your name?" I was behind my uncle, and I peered out and I told him my name. And I asked him, "What are you?" Because I wasn't sure. You know, he had on the blue pants, red stripe, the white gloves, and the pretty hat. And he was smiling at me. He says, "I'm a Marine." I said, "What's a Marine?" He said, "Well, little lady, a Marine is someone that protects those who can't protect themselves." And from that point on, I knew that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to protect those that could
Wow.
not protect themselves. So
Wow,
that
wow.
Marine changed my life and where I would go from there.
Yeah.
I love that story. I love it.
It's-
But go
And
ahead,
being
Jeff.
a female in the military,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
hard sometimes. It was easy other times. It was a challenge always because I always had to fight for several reasons. Being a minority female was a challenge, but being a female just in general in that dominated male environment, you had to always prove yourself. So I worked hard to be better than my male counterparts. And so I excelled. I was meritoriously promoted twice. I was promoted to staff NCO very early, and I'm happy to say I did 20 years with honor and lots of medals. And it was an opportunity for a little girl that was afraid to speak to become a grown woman that now won't shut up.
Yeah, well, that's quite a story. I mean, with being 8 years old and having a Marine come up to you now, he inspires you, and now you probably inspired many others to join the Army and the Navy, Marines, and the military, right?
Yes, I encourage young people to pick the service of their choice. I don't necessarily steer them to the Marines, but I do say that I think it's important for those that have the mentality to serve our country because it will give you
Yeah.
discipline, esprit de corps. It's your first opportunity to understand what teamwork and selflessness is really about because we had to learn very quickly that how we survive is by counting on each other to do the right thing always and to never leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mean
Yeah.
survive in the actual sense of the word survive, yeah.
I'm gonna say
Absolutely.
those tenets, those core values that you just mentioned certainly show up in the way that you conduct your business. Talk a little bit about that because I know your work ethic.
I think the big thing for me, Eugene, is using the things I learned in the military and that I learned growing up with my family was that everyone has a story, everyone has a purpose, and not to be a respecter of person. That's why I gravitated towards Convene, because it is all about community and shared goals, shared values. They want to see everyone succeed. And I grew up always believing that the only thing you can't do is the thing you say you can't. My mother didn't allow us to use can't, don't, or won't. That was like a penalty for us to do that. If you came to my mother and told her about a problem, you better also show up with the solution. So I've been finding solutions for things since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
Hence the solutionist name.
That's the solutionist.
There you go.
Yeah. Absolutely. How many books have you written?
Let's see. I've written many books, but I have published 5.
Ah, see, I love it. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's really awesome. But listen, I think that you talked a little bit about the Marine Corps, not to stay on that, but I want to touch on this because I still think that that's a big reason why you are who you are. A lot of us when we transition out of the military, it's not the easiest thing in the world, and so you didn't have. For a little bit of time, you didn't have the easiest time. I mean, we're all beat up. Our bodies are broken. We have a lot of things that are going on. But you've really, in the last couple of years, hit your stride. you're out there now. You're really taking it to people. You're really leading from the front. So talk a little bit about that transition and some stuff that you went through to really get you where you are. And the reason why I want you to do this, because there's some people out there that don't believe in themselves and don't believe in their story and don't believe that they can make something out of themselves.
I think that comes from the feeling that most of the times when something is happening to us, we think we're the only ones that it ever happened to. But what I've discovered, especially over the past 4 years, is that I'm not alone. And I'm happy for the community that is Convene Communities that really brought that home for me at a time when I needed it the most. You see, a few years back, I almost became another unnecessary silence when I decided my life wasn't worth living. After sitting on a couch, literally sitting on a couch, gaining hundreds of pounds, drinking Diet Pepsis and Doritos, I found myself on 22 different medications and just disgusted with self and life. But as I was doing that, I was still helping people. I was still ministering. I was still doing things, but I wasn't taking care of myself physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was in debt. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. But one day, in a moment of clarity, I just realized there's got to be more to life than this. I'm made for more than this. I knew that, but I didn't know how to get there. So I just thought I'd get up today and take one step. When I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, I was in denial because of the shame and the guilt. Marines don't do that. We're supposed to be on the top of our game at all times. But I found myself in schmilt. That's what I call shame and guilt all together. Shame is you are bad. Guilt is you did something bad. So I was bad and I did something bad when I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And I didn't want to own that. So I sat in the misery of the schmilt for 8 years, believing that what the doctors told me, that because of the PTSD, my traumatic brain injury, and the fibromyalgia, I was never going to be a functional part of society. My short-term memory was really bad. I couldn't even recognize my own child. I was overweight. My 23-year marriage was ending. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I started walking in my driveway, talking to people on Facebook about Tell Yourself Tuesdays, Motivation Mondays, Wellness Wednesdays, just trying to do something to be positive. The first day I walked in my driveway around my SUV, I couldn't even do the whole walk around it. But 100 pounds lighter, I could do 10 miles walking around that SUV daily. And
you said it was a moment of clarity. You said it was a moment of clarity. Do you remember, I guess, what sparked that moment?
Yeah, what sparked that moment was in my living room, there's a mirror that I used to check every day before you got in the door. A habit I had from being in the Marine Corps is that before you go outside, you check your uniform to make sure everything's in place. Well, I hadn't checked my uniform in years, but for some reason that day I saw myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize the woman that was staring back at me. So when I sat down on the couch that day with that Diet Pepsi and the Doritos and a bottle of pills, I had to come to a decision. Something's got to give. I decided to throw all of that in the trash and take a walk outside to get some fresh air, something I hadn't done in a long time. And I began to walk and pray. And I asked God that if there was a way to get out of this, please show me, because I'm lost.
It's an amazing story to me, Brenda, because I don't know you as the person you just described. I know you from the last year and a half, and your personality and your ideas and everything that you got going on right now. I never would have guessed, but I guess it just goes to show, right?
That's what I'm saying. People often see you here, but they don't know you're there. They see you when you're smiling and everything's going good. But most people wouldn't believe that I lived in my house like I was living in the episode of Hoarders, or that I wouldn't get off the couch. My days were just a never-ending day of eating and sleeping. And when I did get to a place of clarity, I began to clean my house. I got a divorce. I started exercising. I started eating right. I started talking to people about tapping into living their best life, because I knew what that looked like for other people, but I didn't believe that it was possible for me. But when I started to believe it was possible for me, just like it was for all the people I was sharing it with, that was a game changer for me. The gift of sitting on the couch for 8 years is you get a lot of time to think. And all those ideals I had and different things now, they're actually coming out to help a lot of people.
Well, having an idea is one thing, acting on it's the other.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
great for you.
100%. I know Brenda's had me out of the bed at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm not talking about a short walk. We walked and talked for an hour.
Yeah.
And it was great. We did business that morning. We talked about business, talked about the things that we can do. And so when you're talking about mind, body, spirit, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual wellness, you practice that. And that's, that I thought that was wonderful. We had such a great time that morning, just walking and talking and, just about business, but just about life and stuff like that. That was, yeah. If you want to walk and talk, get on it.
It's about creating a lifestyle for yourself. We all talk about, oh, someday I'm going to learn to play the piano, or someday I'm going to, lose weight, or someday may never come. And the way people are dropping like flies nowadays, you might want to get on it, because again, don't waste an opportunity to take care of yourself, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. And the gift and all of the things that I have been through over the past 4 years and in all the years before that, is that I can truly see the gift in everything that happened. The gift of sitting on the couch for 8 years, once you get off it, is that you never want to go back there.
Yeah,
what it's like to hit rock bottom and feel like you're drowning in plain sight with no one to pull you out. That's why I want to be that for other people. I want to be the lifeline that allows people to know, I don't care how far you done sunk on that couch. I don't care how much weight you have, how much debt you in, how bad your marriage is, how much you don't even like yourself. There is light at the end of the tunnel. The key is just to start moving toward the light.
Yeah. Well, I love that you teach entrepreneurship. I love that and we're going to jump into that and talk about some different things that you do. But I love that you have taken what you've gone through, and now you're out there, like I said, pulling people along with you. Telling them, hey, what you have is special. What you have, you can make something of. You have a story. Make something of it. And so to me, that's all just an amazing thing that you've transitioned to, because what we talk about a lot of time is we all have a story. But what are you going to do with that story? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to make out of yourself? And that's really what you do, is teach people that.
It's important to me that everyone knows that they have a story. And I would say you have the pen to write the story of your life. And if you're going to write it, you might as well make it an epic adventure. Why, if you get to decide what your life looks like, would you choose to have a little life? And that's what we do. Every day we make choices about if we're going to be healthy or if we're going to be sick. Think about when you get up in the morning. Do you say, oh, it's going to be a terrible day, or it's going to be a good day? The truth is, whatever you say, that's exactly the day you're going to have. And when I got that concept, I've been raised in the church, and I've been told, life and death are in the power of the tongue. And I really didn't fully understand that as well as I do today sitting here with you, because I choose to be careful about the words I use, because I know the words I use will frame my day. It will frame my next year. It's just like right now, I give myself a new word for every year that comes in. My word this year was unstoppable. And that's what I've chosen to be. No matter what got thrown in my way, no matter who passed, no matter who came, I knew it was important to keep making forward movement. 2024 is going to be the year of impact, and my word is impact. Because
I need you to talk to my 9th and 10th graders. So at the beginning of this year, and I'm going to do it again, I had them do a one word. What's their one word for the semester? Something that's going to, and I put it on the wall. They drew it, they colored it, however they wanted to make this word. And I put it up on the wall in the classroom so they could see it. And we're just finished up our first 9 weeks of the school. So they'll come back on a Monday. And I want to do kind of a follow-up, because I know that many of them just haven't even looked at their one word. Man, but you need to come and talk to them, because then their eyes will be all open and their ears will be open finally.
I would love to do that, because I believe, what we say about ourselves really, truly does matter. In Convene, in the life community, it is so important for me to get people thinking about their whole life, because every day we take for granted the people that we say we love as we are building businesses. And you didn't ask this, but I want to share why I chose entrepreneurship over all the things that I could potentially teach. It's because I believe that when people have the economic freedom to do what they want, see, everybody doesn't want to be a millionaire. I figured that out fairly quickly. What I decided was I wanted to teach people how to do business their way. If your goal is to simply make $50 extra a week, I'm going to show you how to do that. If your goal is to make $1 million in a week, I'm going to show you how to do that. And believe me, I truly can. I have the proof of concept, because it's about, if you're willing to put in the work to get what you consider your dream goal, I'm willing to help you get there, because there's no limits to our imagination. It's not a problem that does not have a solution to it. We simply have to tap in to what it is we want, know our why, and then pursue that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about your community. Let's show it. So let's show, the life community, and you kind of just jumped into it. So here it is. If you go into a life community, this is what you'll say. Living in fulfillment every day. So talk about why the life community, why that you put that on there, and what you're trying to accomplish here and who you want to come in with you.
Living in fulfillment every day to me means that you are living a life to your standards, not to anybody else's. I learned a long time ago is not to watch anybody else's race and don't compare myself to others. We hear a lot about imposter syndrome and all the different things that people say. Social media has a lot of people feeling like they're not living their best life. But most people, if they thought about how my day really goes, would not necessarily consider my life living my best life. But my best life is me sitting right here in my podcast studio in my room that used to be my sewing room, talking to people all over the world from my computer. That's my comfort zone. Next week, I'm going to Dallas. And when I get back from Dallas, I will be going to South Carolina and from there to Savannah. So I'm traveling most of the month of October, but for November and December, I won't be doing anything. See, the way I set my life up is to do what I do virtually and travel when I need to, and then come back to my safe zone where I have a girlfriend where her living her best life is that she's on a cruise almost every other month. I couldn't do that. I don't have the bandwidth to do that kind of thing. So we each have to decide what is our version of our best life. I encourage people to do what I call the perfect day exercise. I want you to write out, what would your perfect day be like if you did it? See, mine, I wake up in the morning. When I open my eyes, the first thing I do is I thank God for seeing another day. Then I lean over to the left and say hello to the love of my life. He ain't here yet, y'all. I'm manifesting that man. When I get done with that, then I do my meditation. I'm praying and I work out. Once I'm done working out, I come right here and sit in front of the computer. And I'm usually in here talking to people all over the world until about 6 o'clock in the evening. Then after that, I'm eating dinner. I have lunch in between there. And then after that, I am studying because I'm a lifelong learner. I'm learning how to do things. That's my best life. To somebody else, that sounds too regimented and just too controlling. I have a friend that fishes and hunts all day long. That's their best life. What does yours look like? That's what I encourage each person to figure out. And if it's your best life, how do you include those people that you say are important to that dream in that? All of us are entrepreneurs, but oftentimes the very thing we say we're doing something for is the very thing we neglect. I want people to stop neglecting those things and people they say they love and incorporate that into their life, their daily living every day.
I just wrote down a note to make an experience and uniquely you for the kids. Mm-hmm. What is your best day? What's your ideal day? Just type myself, write a note right there.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's great.
And then when you write your best day, you got to also think about that's the day. What would your best day look like if money wasn't an object? See, when you start talking about entrepreneurs, I want them not only to make money, I want them to create legacy. Yeah. Because it's okay if you make some money, but can you rinse and repeat that? Can you do that on a continuous basis so you give yourself the freedom mentally, emotionally, economically to do what you really want to do? That's why I like Convene. See, I make money in my sleep. Passive income is a way to do that. And I want to teach everybody how to do it.
That's great. It is. We share each other's stuff. We can work together and, help each other grow. And that's, again, what you're doing. You write blogs. You post one every week. Every week is your goal. So I want you to, there's 2 blogs that I pulled up that you had written. So we'll go to the next slide there, Doc, and kind of talk about this because, here is Well, it's kind of, there we go. Living your best life today. You've been talking about this, but this is a blog. This is some of the content that you put in there.
Yeah, because I think it's important when people living their best life today. It's talking about taking regular breaks, pursuing your passion, making the most of your time. How often do we say, "Oh, I want to live my best life," but we're putting it off for tomorrow? I want you to do it today. What would you do today that would allow you to live your best life? And maybe if that's like something like, say, take a trip to Hawaii, that may not be something you can do right now, but you could plan for it, which would go to another blog that I wrote about. Planning for what you want is really important. And that's one. Plan to level up every opportunity today. You'll hear me use the word today a lot. Why? Because tomorrow's not promised to us. And if it's not promised to us, why are you wasting time doing stuff you hate? It's like, laundry's not my favorite thing, so I put that off. And if I pass, I ain't got to do it anyway. So.
But what I love about this, Brenda, is that, here's the thing. And, everybody on here is a coach and a mentor inside of Convene. But what you do is you bring people in and you're going to mentor them through the process. Because, again, a lot of times people have this idea. They think they know what they want to do. They just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to take it to that next level. And it's important that they get a coach and a mentor that can get them there.
I think it's not only that they don't know how to do it, but they also live in a place of fear. And, my mother used to tell us that fear is just future events already ruined. You simply go to a place where, I would do that, but get out the butt. You got to move that butt out your way and simply start doing it because that's what you desire. If you fail, you just find another idea later. My mother was great with acronyms,
Man, I was going to say,
that's a Marine Corps thing, a military thing, I guess.
I aced that in the Marine Corps because I'm like, oh, my mother did that all the time. But it was just, she would just reframe. The reframe was part of my growing up. If you were given anything, I mean, literally, when we would get in the car, my mother, we always had to have pen and paper. Why? That's how I became a storyteller, is because she would make us write down what we saw. And you just couldn't say, for example, look out what do you see? Most kids go, clouds. And no, you better say, I see the whispering cotton floating through the air as if God himself opened up the heavens. Come on now. That's what we did on a daily basis. So you have to expand your mind and move beyond what is the ordinary. We do that in Convene Communities. We have a deaf doula. Laurel blows my mind every time I think about a deaf doula in the Convene Communities who's creating other opportunities for other deaf doulas to do what they do, to help people to pass with dignity, to take care of the things they do on this side so they can get to the other side. I think that's beautiful. We got Eugene on here who's doing all the stuff with the stocks. I never thought much about stocks or how I can grow my money that way. I still don't want to think about it, but that's Eugene's thing. So you get fascinated. Our community is filled with such rich types of personalities and opportunities to expand our mind, expand our vision. Real people living real lives, having real experiences. You can do that and Convene. And as I like to say, and make money in your sleep. How? Promoting other people's ventures by collaborating. You look at my situation when my brother passed recently and my world fell apart. It was the members of Convene that rallied, that said, do you need help with this or that? Because I'm a solopreneur. They knew things were happening. I had deadlines to meet that I couldn't meet. But if it was not for community, I would have been all alone. But because there were other people, other entrepreneurs that were willing to pick up the slack, I was able to continue on and not miss a beat.
Yeah, it truly is a family, right? I mean, we are. We're a big family, here to support each other, here to help each other grow, here to be there for each other, not just in the business world, but personally. If you need somebody to turn to, if you're having a rough day, if you're, stuck in a spot, somebody's always there to listen to you. Or if you post it out there, you're always going to get that support that you need. And that's the best part about this, for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, let's talk about your group. So you have two groups in here, and you have a thing called the portal. So if there we go. That slide's coming up. And let's talk about these two groups. We're going to talk about them separate,
Okay.
but let's talk about the portal, because this is really where you're teaching entrepreneurship.
You know, in the portal, I say that's where entrepreneurs go to close the gap between their desire and their reality. My vision for the portal was to be that safe place for people that needed answers, but necessarily couldn't afford to go to the $25,000 masterminds that I attend, or the other events that cost way out of their budget. Because when you're first starting out, you're just trying to figure out what to do and who can I trust to give me an answer. We can all go to these different platforms and take courses. You can go to YouTube University. You can do a whole bunch of things that cost you absolutely nothing. But the problem is you don't have any human interaction. Having my portal on Convene Community not only gives the members of that join the portal for the group monthly coaching opportunities to interact with me, but they also get to interact with the entire Convene community. The collaborations, the networking, the brainstorming that will go on for people at an affordable price. Here's the other part. Even if they joined Convene and never went to the portal, that's the part I love. If you never go to the portal, you just come into the community and get access. Where else can you go and for free get access to millionaires, billionaires, lawyers, doctors, and Indian chiefs, all in one place, that are committed to your success and not spend a dime if you choose not to. But if you choose to invest in your own growth and get the coaching or get the book writing or whatever other opportunities, there's the videography that we have unmatched. We have some people with some serious skills in Convene, and anybody that comes there that cannot find something to do, I tell you, they don't want nothing to do.
Well, I think you said it right too, Brenda. You know, you can come on for free if you want to, and not. I mean, you can go to almost.
I did. I was here for a year and didn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to almost any platform for free and just kind of scroll around. But you know, you can come here and collaborate. You can educate yourself. You can help educate others. You can read blogs, and yeah, you said it right. You can do pretty much everything. And actually, Laurel put in the chat. Convene's a new way to run your business. And that's exactly right. You know?
I think it's a new way because, like me, I think a lot of people would be skeptical when I tell them you can come join Convene and you can join for free and you can get the stuff that I actually put on there for free and never join the portal, and you'll be able to do a lot of the stuff that I do. But if you want to have access to me where you can talk to me one-on-one, anonymously if you like, or by putting your name there so I can answer your questions and actually get on a video call with me. I always get a kick out of when someone joins and they say they want to talk to me, and I say, do you have time for a Zoom? And I show up and they're like all excited to see me. I'm like, that's part of Convene. You actually get to talk to a real person in real time.
Yeah. And you can take that person and you can create, like, that's the way I do my coaching, right? I have a group with a group where you're collaborating with all the other people, the main people. And then I have individual groups. So Brenda, you and I could have just an individual group where it's just about me and you. And that's different. That's a way that you can coach and grow your business. That's working out really good, because what I find is that, you know, when I'm working with somebody one-on-one, working in the group is great because we're all learning from each other. Matt Curran doesn't have all the answers in the world, but as well as when we get into those individual groups, you know, we can set goals. And I know a bunch of people in the chat will tell you that the goals that we've set over the last couple of months have raised their game to the next level.
Can I tell you what I love about Convene the most is Convene really does offer me the opportunity to do business my way. You know, I wanted an all-inclusive platform that allowed me to not only interact with the people that purchase my product or services, but also to interact with others. So when I'm stumped sometimes and I can't figure something out, there are tons of people in Convene. I can message or ask a question. I can go read other people's blogs, visit to see what they're doing. It helps me stay well informed. It also allows me a place to just simply feel safe and know that when I get the support that I need, that they're not out to try to hurt me or to take advantage, that they're as committed to my success as I am. And I know that for sure based on how the systems are set up that allows that. For the first year I was in Convene, when I was at a place of distrust, I was making money in my sleep just promoting other people's stuff. And then when I said, oh, this is legit, and I started to do things, Then I began to corralling the cats, because I had my stuff on other platforms and stuff, but I wasn't talking to anybody. I didn't have any interaction. But when I started getting them to come on Convene with me, now they can message me. It cut down on the number of emails I was getting, because I had one place to focus, to go look and find things and people. That gave me more time back, let me be more productive. I was able to really develop my writing skills again that I love to do. I'm putting out a blog every week. That's something, if you told me before I could do, I'm like, I don't have time for that. But because I moved my services to Convene, it created time that I did not have before, because I wasn't going to 6 different platforms to check on my services.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know, with your blogs, you say you want to help, and your goal is to help other people and help other people grow, which is great. And your blogs can then be shared to my communities,
Absolutely.
right? And with your name and your writing and your links on it, and say, hey, Brenda Warren, here it is, what she's written and how she wants to help people grow, and I can share it with my community, and they learn, and then maybe then also go and join the live community, and now they've got 2 communities that they really care about.
And I think that's important to know, that when people come in, they may come in for the live community, but what I encourage them to do is to go out and explore the other communities, like Jody over there in wellness, Dr. Mel. Oh my God, I love her so much. She really reduced my pain. But I pay a lot of money for gyms and different things. And I saw Dr. Mel one time. I got a paid consultation, and it was life-changing. People do not understand the level of support that is within the communities, because you may be surprised at what is there just for free, let alone the paid stuff. And the paid stuff is very reasonable. And I love that even when I get treatment from Dr. Mel and this through Convene, guess what? I'm paying myself too. So I love the way the system is paid up. So when I'm looking for a service, I'm going to Convene first, because not only am I going to get a really good service or product, but I'm also going to pay myself for using the services. I think that's pretty cool right there.
Dang. Still trying to figure out how a Marine created this, Brenda. Come on.
The Marines are badass. Oh.
That's great.
That was a shot fired right at Eugene, I think. That was right at him.
They don't even pay attention to these people.
The next thing you do, you have another, you teach people how to write, right? So again, everybody has a story, and we all have a story that we can tell. We all can write a book, but a lot of people don't know how to write a book. So you have this self-publishing for fun and profit. And then we're going to talk about this real quick, but we're going to talk about what's coming to at the backside of this. And also in the middle of this one, we're going to talk about how you had to teach somebody how to write an ebook, and you created a course about writing an ebook. But let's talk about this self-publishing here.
Well, self-publishing for fun and profit came out of being in Convene. Because someone was writing a book and they were not doing the best job of it, shall I say. And I was really irritated by that. And I always say, I don't know if you ever watched, I can't even think of the name of the movie. It's a kid's movie. It says, see a need, feel a need. But that process of watching someone I love and respect put out something that did not represent them well, just totally just messed me up. And then once I started doing it, I got curious about, how do you self-publish a book? What's the proper way to do it? And how do you make sure someone can make themselves and prove their expertise, show their authority, and present their brand in a way that they are shining and not being shunned? So when I went through that process, it took me down a rabbit hole, because I'm one of them shiny objects people. And because of Convene, I now have my own publishing company called Talk to Me Publishing. So self-publishing for fun and profit is one of the arms of my publishing company. And since that time of helping that one person, I've now helped people write over 20 self-published books. I've helped several people become best-selling authors. And matter of fact, look at this here. Here's the next book that I put out that got loaded today, Kindle and paperback, that will be releasing on October 30th. One that I wrote with my co-partner, Lisa DeShorm, the 15-minute results coach. So we're churning out books and helping people churn them out. I call myself a self-publishing partner, because what I want to do is help people create their own publishing companies. See, it's not about me always making money. Although I like making money, I'm not averse to it. I'm a money magnet. But here's what I want to do. Why I'm a publisher with a difference is because if people come to my program and they want me to help them self-publish, I'm here to do that. If you want me to do it for you, I can do that for you. But if I start doing it for you, it starts at $4,997 and it goes up to $20,000 plus. Those are the contracts I'm getting for helping people write their books. But here's what, when I say those numbers, I want you to think about this. Would you invest $4,997 in someone to write a book? I'm telling you, people are doing it every day, but most of them are not even getting their books sold or making any money from that. What if I told you, if you bought that service with me, not only are you going to get your book published, I'm not going to guarantee you bestseller anymore because Amazon changed the rules. But what I will guarantee you is if you do what I tell you, you'll make every penny you invested with me back, because my program is designed to make you at least break even. And but my belief is that once you know how to break even, you're going to make a profit, because if you can break even, I guarantee you, if you do the work, you can make money afterwards. See, when you publish a self-publishing book, it doesn't stop. I want you to go beyond the book. So you write a book and you prove somebody you're an expert. Okay, so now you're an expert, but what you going to do with that? You should now be thinking about merchandise and products, creating a service or a business. I don't care who you are, what you are. There is something that you do that somebody will pay you for. You just got to figure out what it is. And that's what I do. I help you do that in the portal. I want people to go beyond the book, which is why I have both. It started off with just the book, but Convene taught me to think bigger and think bigger than that. So once I had the book, I'm like, wait a minute. If they got the book and they're the expert or they're showing somebody, now how did they create a business from that? We were doing it backwards, but now we're telling people they may come to see me for a book, but when they leave, I want them to leave with a legacy. Because the truth is, we all want to leave something behind. That's part of our human nature. But how do you do it if you don't know even where to start? We talk about those things in the portal. In the portal, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship does you no good, especially if you talk about, I want to get married. Well, how do you build that in there? I want to have a kid. How do you build that through there? Go beyond the book, go beyond the business, and then do business your way, not Brenda's way. I'm going to teach people how to do business their way. But first, they got to figure out what that is for them, because your way is different than my way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brenda, take us through like just a skeleton, just a 1 minute ish. Take us through how you're going to take me that wants to write a book or publish a book. What are the process? What's the steps? Just a small snippet, so then I can go join your group and get the whole experience.
Okay. The first step would simply be that you decided you want to write a book. Sure. And then I'm going to ask you to capture. That means to either get Speechy, which is one of the apps that you can just talk into, and then it will give you an audio and a written file. You can get the free version first to start, see if you like it, and then get the paid on if you need it. Most of the people I work with use the free version and do quite well with that, because they're going to give you both files. So if you're not a typist, not an excuse. Just simply talk what you want to say, and then it's going to write it out, and then we can go through the editing and transcribing. But we're going to talk about, what is your book for? Is the purpose of your book to create a lead magnet for a business you already have? To establish your expertise? Is it a passion project? Do you want to make money? Is it a fundraiser? We'd go through those kind of steps. Is the why. Why do you want to write a book? Okay. Do you have something to write about? Do people want to hear about what you have to write about? We may show you some tools on how you can determine that. Here's an example. You may want to write about the kids that you support right now. The 10th graders, I think it is. Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You said the 10th graders. Okay. What do 10th graders want to talk about? You may ask your 10th graders, what would you want me to write about if I was writing about? Is it self-esteem? Is it dating? Is it how to play Pokemon? It doesn't do you any good to write about dating if they want to know about Pokemon. So you got to get on the pulse of the people. Those are the steps I take you through before you ever begin to write. Because once you know that, then we can gear your project to that. We're going to figure out how many days it's going to take you to write, how many pages you're going to need to do. We set you up with a writing plan so that you can get it actually happen. We do it piece by piece, precept upon precept. And I'm going to take you all the way from the first part to the end of it, where you publish it on either KDP, Lulu, or Ingram Sparks, based on what you want to do with your book.
There we go. There we go. Hey,
I'll be right Brenda. Back. I'm going to go sign up.
Yeah. Hey, Brenda, we got a Convene book coming.
Mm-hmm.
This people, let me just go ahead and let me tell you that. This fires me up. This is going to be the deal. I cannot wait. But talk about that.
The Convene book is going to be amazing because we're starting off with the 20 core people. And we are going to be having each person fill out a survey. That's how we're going to do it, a survey style. And you're going to answer some questions. And then from them questions, we're going to put those questions that you answer in a book. And all the questions are going to be based on why did you join Convene? Why did you become an entrepreneur? Things of that nature. Because what we want is your story to inspire others to create their own stories and experiences in Convene. What I'm working on right now, the details of how do we create the Convene book to be an experience, so that when we put it in there, we're not only going to have the book, but it's also inside the book. It's going to talk about what we do inside Convene. It's going to talk about the experiences, the groups, the communities, the affiliate program, how it started, why it started, who started it, a Marine, and all of the things that go along with that. And then we're even going to talk about those Army people every once in a while. And but the truth is, we're going to talk about the community, because the purpose of the book is to inspire other people to come in and join the platform with a purpose, so that they too can have the group of community that they want. Most people don't even know that nonprofits are a big part of the Convene community. We have corporations that come in and put their people there because of the functionality and what we can do in the community. And then there's just individuals like me that have communities that they're starting to develop in a place. People join communities because of values and shared beliefs and shared goals and desires. Platform for purpose like Convene is the perfect place for what I call sharepreneurs and leaders, servant leaders, and those kind of people that want to make a difference and an impact in the world. This is a community for you.
Yeah. And what's cool about it is, the concept that you have and the concept that we talked about, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. And so as we continue to get more members and we continue to get more people, then one of their goals should be is to be highlighted in version 2 or version 3 of the book. And so these are great ideas, entrepreneurial ideas that can help people grow. That is going to be a great marketing business building tool for Convene Communities. And so I'm excited. I can't.
And wait. I think the best part about the book too is to just have a place for people to go, not only to see what others are doing, but we can also use it as a benchmarker for growth. Because as the CRM and different things come online, we're going to be able to see those things developing because we're building it. And you're going to be able to see, it's going to be like a way to gather the history of Convene as we highlight different members of what they're doing. And we also show the processes, because it's also a way to get those in the community that may be a little bit afraid to write or be a part of the book. You can now be able to say that you're a published author, because there's some perks that comes along with that. That's about getting your confidence to write and tell your story. And then you can tell people, I'm a part of a compilation where I'm a featured artist or author in a book, which also will increase your speaker fees. Different things like that. There's different little nuances that goes with this project that's going to be really good for the community and for us to learn. We can do a lot by ourselves, but we can do even more together.
Yeah. The written annals of Convene.
Go ahead.
I would just say it's going to be the written annals of Convene. That's great.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Brenda, doing a lot by collaborating. I'm always struck by what somebody else's passions are and how much they know. And as I listen to you ramble through your niche and what you're good at and what you're passionate about, it makes me sometimes want to run through a brick wall, and I'm already one who's already running through brick walls. You guys are really on top of your game, and it's good to learn from others, because you've taught me a lot about different things that doesn't fall in my purview, if you will. So I'm glad that you're here.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here, Eugene. I would just say all of you have blessed me in so many different ways and allowed me to explore. I had to learn, because Convene will have you, like you said, wanting to run through a brick wall. Convene will have you wanting to do everything. And I'm blessed that I can do a lot of things well, but I had to really learn quickly that just because you can do a thing don't mean you should do it. So you do have to pick that thing that you are really good at better. Because see, there's nobody going to be better at being Brenda Warren than Brenda Warren. I'm good at that. And so I don't have to be Eugene. I don't have to know stocks. All I got to do is know the man that knows the man. And I got that.
Yeah.
And that's a good part about the collaboration and doing the things within Convene, because at any given time when I want to know something, all I have to do is scroll through the communities and figure out who knows this. When my 22-year-old was having problems recently at college, I knew I could go over to Uniquely You and anonymously make a post about that, because they didn't give me permission to talk about what's going on with them. But I had a safe place to go to get some answers.
Absolutely.
You know, that's important for that. When I'm listening to Josh talk about men's emotional states, I've learned some things that I would have never known or even thought about. You know, I didn't grow up male. I'm a female, always have been, always will be. So that insight that Josh offers really helped me recently when I was helping a male friend. So I think it's important, all the things that we can bring to Convene, but there's a lot of things we gain by being members in the community at Convene.
Yeah, leveraging all of that eventually is going to be huge, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. So if you got a question for Brenda, please ask it in the chat. We got about 8 minutes left before we wrap up here. So yeah, this has been good. Well, one, you flow. Good Lord, you flow.
Flow.
Speaky would be on smoking right now. We'd be trying to catch up.
Dang. I was like, yeah, I love the acronyms and everything that you do. But it's good. No, you're doing great things, and that's what's important. And I love that. One of the things I love about you, Brenda, is that you know that helping others helps yourself, and it only just raising people's game is so important, and that's what you're working on, and that's what you're doing.
You know, one of my favorite things is when I heard Zig Ziglar say, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll always get what you want, or words to that effect. And Convene is true to that, because as I have reached out and sought to educate, sought to be educated, to collaborate, to brainstorm, I've gotten so much more than I've given, I believe, and I give a lot. And so to be in a place where there are other people like me that are willing to give and see me grow and are committed, like I said earlier, to my success, I feel like I'm in the right place, and I cannot sing the praises enough to get other people to come join this community, because I really believe that if you are a passionate entrepreneur and you want to get to a place of not just being popular, but being paid, then you come join Convene, because I was very popular before I joined Convene, but now I'm popular and paid. I like being both.
And a lot of people apologize about that.
I don't apologize for making money, not anymore. You have to make a money mindset shift, because that's one of the things I do. I tell people, make the shift. Money is not evil. What you can do with it is evil sometimes. You can do good things with it. But the key is, when somebody says, oh, I don't want to charge it, I'm like, I don't charge people by the hour anymore. I charge people for results. You know, I'm confident enough in what I can do to know that when I tell somebody that if they want to spend an hour with me brainstorming and stuff, that they're going to have to pay for that, that I don't feel bad about it at all, because I know when they leave, they're going to leave with more than what they came for.
Yeah. Brenda, besides yourself, besides your own story and yourself, what's perhaps your favorite, your most memorable success that you've helped someone else with?
Oh, I helped someone create their own signature program. And the fact that this person thought that that was not even possible blew me away, because you'll be surprised how many people have great skills and they don't think that they have it. I would say the other one is making sure that people that I'm getting in contact with recently know that whatever it is they want to do. I've helped a young man become a master electrician. Another lady start a catering business. Another one start her signature coaching business. Another lady who I helped her develop her European getaway vacation business. The deal is, if you can dream it, or like Tony Little, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. I'm here to help people do that.
I thought you were going to say is helping that unnamed person end up writing a best-selling ebook.
Nah, that ain't it.
That's not it, he said.
You guys said we were going to protect Eugene's.
Brenda was amazing, you guys. For those of you who don't know, she stayed up until almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I did not want to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning, just fixing all of my mistakes and coaching me up, and certainly became a best-selling ebook. So kudos to her. I know her work ethic well.
I'm like a pit bull with a bone. I don't let go. When I'm on a
Yes.
project, it's going to get done.
Yes.
We need to write all these down. This needs to go back.
Again, it's just another classic example of, the Marine Corps having to come in and clean up the Army's mess.
Oh, gosh. Doc,
Well,
I
you
think
know,
time's over,
the
Doc.
Marine-
Doc, time's
The
up.
Marines taught me to never give up. And, it's not if you can do it, it's when I get it done.
Yeah, that's right.
And I will get it done.
That's right.
Man, I'm feeling quite bad being just a plain old civilian over here.
More veterans. We haven't even hit on the Navy much tonight. I guess because he was
Pun
off.
intended.
Because Doc can mute you. You don't mess with Doc.
You're welcome for my service, Jeff.
Exactly. Oh man. All right. Before we close out, I do want to say a couple of things. You see the donate button up in the upper left-hand corner. Doc does this for us. He pays for the service. He does everything. Just a great service that he's putting on, producing this show for us. I am so lucky to have you, Doc. I really appreciate it. But $1 here, $1 there. You use the QR code. Just a great thing. If you're somebody who wants to do a podcast and you're looking for a producer, this is so easy for me. I show up, we do a little bit of pre-work during the day, and then we show up and Doc does everything, and voila, the video ends up on my YouTube page. So doing a great thing for us, Doc. So yeah, hit that donate button. I really appreciate it. The other thing, the join button, if you saw that earlier, just join Brenda's community. That'll take you a link straight to the life community. You can join it and become a part of that. And go to the last slide that I put up about how to contact Brenda.
Oh boy, you're screwing everything up. See, this is why that little chat box is so important.
I know, because I didn't have you ready. But anyway, you don't have to pull it up. Anyway, the point is, join her community, contact her. You can contact her through the messaging, through the community. You can join her groups. Look, we're ready to grow. More people in her community, the better. Join the portal, all those different things. So real quick, we'll go around. I'll let Jeff, kind of last comment you got.
I just really enjoyed this this week. This was great. We've had some really good podcasts, but Brenda, your energy is contagious. And I'm being serious. I need to go back and replay this and write down all the acronyms, all the quips, all the sayings, and I just need to write them all down. They've been fantastic. But other than that, Brenda, it's awesome to have you as a part of the community. You're helping not only everybody you help outside of our community, but you help everybody inside our community tremendously. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Eugene Brown.
Yeah, I would just say, as always, love working with you, Brenda. You're a wealth of knowledge and with a whole lot of energy. So we're glad that you're here, and I would encourage anybody who's looking forward or needs to work with somebody of your caliber, if they're up to the task, you certainly will fit the bill. So,
Doc, what you got?
Brenda, you know I love you. Semper Fi, Kill.
Brenda, I feel the same way. You raise people's game to the next level, and you're so important to Convene. I know we all look up to you and admire you, and just we're all so happy that you're here and look forward to seeing where we go over the next couple of years and how we grow together. It's going to be so much fun. It already is so much fun, but it's going to be great. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let you close it out, and then Doc will take us out.
All I'll say is remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely and choose to become a part of the Convene Communities. We're here to help support your dreams.
Damn. I had to say it. Damn.
You're the best. All right, everybody, go join Brenda's community. Hit the donate button. And thanks for being with us. And next week, we'll have Lisa Herring.
Yay, Lisa.
Hey.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Good night.